Local modules. A local module is a Terraform module loaded from a relative file system path, such as modules network. Terraform treats every working directory as a module, and a module block lets the root module call another directory as a child module. That directory boundary changes loose resource definitions into a callable interface with inputs and outputs. By moving repeated infrastructure into a child module, you update the logic once and reuse it from many callers. A child module cannot read caller variables unless the caller passes them in. Terraform uses input variables to define that contract. That forces the caller to declare what may vary and prevents the child from depending on hidden root level assumptions. The result is a narrow change surface and more predictable plans. Resources inside the child module are managed together as one logical unit. The root module does not need to know the child's internal resource names to use it. That separation reduces duplication because callers reuse the module instead of rewriting the same AWS VPC and SSM parameter logic in multiple places. It also keeps related resources together so updates stay localized. The root module cannot directly consume a child resource unless the child publishes it as an output. That mechanism forces dependency flow through explicit outputs instead of accidental reach-through. The outcome is cleaner coupling because consumers bind to the child module's interface, not to its internal implementation. If the child changes resource names internally, callers can stay stable as long as the output stays stable. Provider configurations belong in the root module, not inside reusable child modules. Terraform treats provider configurations as global across the configuration, and child modules inherit them unless you pass alternate alias explicitly. That keeps authentication, region selection, and account targeting under root level control. The outcome is safer reuse because the same module can be called in different environments without embedding provider behavior inside the module itself. On a submarine, watertight doors exist because uncontrolled spread kills the boat faster than the first failure. Local modules serve the same purpose in Terraform. Without a hard boundary, root code starts depending on internal resource details, and one refactor can propagate breakage across unrelated parts of the configuration. A local module source, such as modules network, is resolved from the caller's file system rather than from a registry. That makes local modules ideal for development, internal reuse, and refactoring repeated code before publishing anything externally. It also means path layout becomes part of the configuration contract, so moving directories requires reinitialization. The outcome is fast iteration with a tighter operational boundary around your own repository.